The Core is now out in 4K from Paramount Pictures. How does it look and sound? Let's find out. This particular 4K release from Paramount has been enhanced with Dolby Vision and HDR10 color grading. And while it's not leaps and bounds better than the Blu-ray edition that we received from Shout Select last year, it's a nice improvement. With the addition of the Dolby Vision and the HDR10 color grading, the overall look of the film has been enhanced, but not enhanced greatly. Colors are still given more vibrancy, and the added enhancement gives more visual depth to an already effects-laden film. Now, the Dolby Vision and the HDR10 are wonderful, but that does not take away, how bad the CGI is here. I knew going into this release I was not going to expect, Avatar-like visual effects, and there's no way that Dolby Vision or the HDR10 could cover that up. There are shots where the Dolby Vision, it's great. It makes the colors pop, and there's very little grain that's in the film. But still, it's the CGI. That's the one big takeaway from this. And no matter how much HDR10 or how much Dolby Vision you want to put on this thing, it's not going to make that look any better. There are shots of Virgil where it looks like the color of Virgil is a grayish looking color, and when it goes down into the ocean, as it's hurtling through the earth, it feels like it blends into the earth itself, where it's almost transparent. And even when they break through to the core, it still looks like the outside or everything around Virgil looks a little bit better than Virgil itself, and it's not supposed to do that. Now, there are great uses of the Dolby Vision when it's not around the CGI itself, like the interiors of the ship or in Mission Control. That's the colors really stand out, but it's the CGI. That's the one thing that I can't overlook that when talking about this. But it is what it is, and I just chalk that up to, that's what they had to work with at the time. As for DNR, I noticed a couple of scenes where DNR had been used and had been used quite heavily. I don't understand why they would do that, because in the exact same scene, you had great detail on everything around it, and then a millisecond later, it looked like the same thing you were looking at in great detail was now becoming kind of waxy looking, and then it would revert back to its normal state. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know what they were trying to erase on that, but there was a lot of heavy DNR used in this. The black crushing issues, I didn't notice any of the dreaded black crush. I mean, it's shot in a dark area anyway, and if you're looking for it, you might find it, but I didn't see any use of heavy black crushing, or any black crushing for that matter. As for the blooming, I saw maybe 2 or 3 shots where it looked like it had been intentionally brightened up, and that's when they were in the core itself. The balance with the oranges and the whites and the reds, the reds seemed fine, but the oranges kind of bled into the whites, and they kind of enhanced that for no real reason. But yeah, I didn't, aside from that, with the use of the DNR, that was one of the main issues I had with it. As I kept watching and watching, I'm like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? It didn't seem to feel right, and a little wonky at some times. like some of the CGI that was used earlier in the film with the birds losing their sense of direction. That didn't seem right. Some of the shots of the birds were pretty good, but off in the distance, that you could tell that was heavy CGI. And with the lightning strikes, and where one lightning strike would be bright blue, and then the other one would be kind of off orange. I really didn't understand, the use for that there. But overall, I mean, if you take away, the bad CGI and the heavy scrubbing with the DNR, it's not a bad transfer. Now, The Core is a disaster movie, and in my opinion, I believe that disaster movies should be given an Atmos track. Now, having said that, and after watching this, the DTS HD Master 5.1 audio track really does a good job. This was the audio track that was included on the Shout Select release last year, and I found no instances of audio drops or where scenes where the audio might feel a little bit synthetic. I found no instances with that. Maybe if they added an Atmos track, it probably would have been a little bit louder, or you could have been able to pick up on some noises in the background. But overall, this HD track really does a good job. Now, as for special features, this is, the definition of a bare bones release. The only thing that's included in this, you have a digital code, and that's it. On the menu screen, you have play, settings, scenes. That's it. Now, I understand that, you can only fit so much stuff onto a 4K disc. And maybe with the release of the Shout Select release that we got last year, it's got a lot of stuff on it. Maybe they didn't want to add to it because you could have easily gone out and gotten this one to get the special features. But this was probably a wasted opportunity. I would have added more stuff in, like a new documentary. This is the 20-year anniversary. Maybe they could have gotten some interviews, thrown in a theatrical trailer. You could have given us that. Now, before I give my final thoughts on this review, I'm going to do a quick unboxing to let you know what's on the inside. Okay, we're going to do our little unboxing here. There's the front. Here's a look at the back. The spine. Let's go ahead and open this up. As you can see, same artwork. Look at the spine. Look at the back. And on the inside, you just have the no disc artwork. And that's really it. Alright, so my final thoughts on this are, The Core is not a bad movie. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's got its flaws, but the performances of the cast and the use of the Dolby Vision and HDR10 enhancement to go along with the audio track that's included, it makes up for its shortcomings. Does it reinvent the wheel when it comes to disaster movies? No, but Paramount, they do deliver on this 4K release of John and Mills' addition to the genre, and it's worth a look. Now, if you're a fan of end of the world and total destruction films, and you're looking to purchase this edition, you can find it on Amazon, which I think is going for around $20 right now, or you can get it at your nearest retailer. So if you like The Core, leave a comment down in the section below. And if you liked my review, don't forget to hit like, click that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, just remember, the only way out is in. See you later.